Hello friends, my name is Evgeny, I'm from Ukraine. I'm watching my video using this service, since my pronunciation of the English language does not allow me to do it myself. Thanks for understanding.
The 411th day of the war between Russia and Ukraine continues. Let's look at the main events over the past day. In the Bakhmut sector, the Russians are attacking in the areas of the settlements of Bohdanivka and Khromove. These are the settlements through which the main roads to Bakhmut go from the west. Bakhmut himself is trying to take full control of the enemy. There are battles, reports the General Staff of Ukraine. Julian Repke, a military columnist for the German newspaper Bild, reported yesterday that the Russians have advanced inside Bakhmut and now control about 75% of the city. He gives a map of the Russian presence in the city, which he compared with photographs coming from the front. Unfortunately, there is also clear evidence that Ukraine failed to hold the railroad tracks in the northwest. Russian troops captured new residential areas there. Given this, protecting the central railway station now makes little sense, Repke concludes. For the station now there are main battles in the center of Bakhmut. Now in Bakhmut, damp weather and slush. The Ukrainian military are fighting in the most difficult conditions, literally knee-deep in mud. This is shown by the commander of the ground forces, Alexander Syrsky, in a video that he posted on his Telegram channel. Yesterday, the Ukrainian army launched a series of successful counterattacks and captured the high-rise buildings adjacent to Chaikovskoho Street, including the post office and school number 40. Also, during the counteroffensive, the Ukrainian armed forces managed to return school number 7 and again move the front line to the Avangard stadium, where violent clashes with the Russians are currently taking place. Meanwhile, the Russian army took possession of all the buildings north of the police station, moving the front line to the railway line. The largest Italian newspaper Corriere della Sera published a report from the Bakhmut front. The Ukrainians fighting there confirmed that the Russians are moving deeper into the city. It's true what the media is saying, citing NATO intelligence services. The Russians have advanced a lot in recent days in the center of Bakhmut, and our supply lines have become more fragile, the Ukrainian armed forces quoted the publication as saying. The soldiers suggest that the idea of the General Staff is to call on the soldiers to stay in the western urban area in order to destroy the maximum number of Russian soldiers and focus their attention while we prepare our next offensive. However, when it gets too hard and our people risk being surrounded, they will be ordered to retreat, the source said. The most effective weapons in this war, the fighters called drones with bombs and anti-tank missiles for infantry. At the same time, there are practically no battles between tanks. The Russians either use their tanks as self-propelled guns or dig them into the ground, protecting them with logs and concrete. In the event of the capture of Bakhmut, the Russians will go not to the west, to Chasiv Yar, but to the north, in order to cut off the ledge in the Siversk region. Alexei Arestovich, a former advisor to the president's office, thinks so. If Bakhmut is taken, they will not go to Chasiv Yar or Konstantinivka, they will cut off to Siversk, and now the strongest Russian grouping is not near Bakhmut, but in the Liman sector. They want to level the front, and the capture of Bakhmut frees up a huge number of troops who will immediately be abandoned to Siversk and, of course, this ledge will be cut off, because it is very difficult to defend there, Arestovich said. He stated that Bakhmut is holding back the cutting off of the salient, which separates the two groups and greatly weakens the Russian offensive efforts. Friends, as you can see, there have been very few views on the channel lately, which is why I have practically no income. If you have the opportunity to support me financially, I will be very grateful. Thank you and see you in the next video.